Hide your Jedi. He has arrived, my Commander Cody. This is that 2.0 Commander Cody that was an exclusive over on Sideshow from Hot Toys. I haven't had a Commander Cody yet, so I am very excited to get this one out here. He even comes with that like phase 1, phase 2 helmet, so yeah, he's gonna be perfect. I can always just swap those out, do whatever I want to do. He's gonna look great in my Clone Wars display right next to Rex. So in the comments, actually tell me what is your favorite scene with Commander Cody? Whether it's from Clone Wars episode 3, you know, maybe your favorite scene is him like pointing at Obi-Wan Kenobi being like, yeah, blast that, bro. So let's just get right into the unboxing. As you all know, every good unboxing must start with a box. We've got a nice image of Commander Cody right up here in his phase 2 helmet. Then, this is a Sideshow exclusive, so got a nice little foil sticker right there for you. We've got a Star Wars logo. Then on this little wraparound banner, we have another image of Commander Cody without his helmet on, holding the phase 2 helmet. My assumption is they probably reused the box from the first time or same picture, something like that. So basically, there's no phase 1 helmet shown, but it does come with it, I swear. It says Star Wars. This is MMS796, Clone Commander Cody. I believe that is one change from the original. Instead of Clone Commander Cody, he was just Commander Cody. So now he's Clone Commander Cody. Got a promotion, maybe? I don't know. 1/6 scale collectible figure. There's a Movie Masterpiece logo and a Hot Toys logo. Moving to this side of the box, we've got another cool little image of the figure, of course, in that phase 2 helmet steel. It says Disney down below. Along the back, feel free to pause and read. I'm not doing that. This one has a cool light up feature though, so it does say it comes with batteries. And hey, if you're into it, got a little Disney sticker right there. Moving to the other side, basically the same words as the front and this antenna. It's interesting, this little antenna is wrapped around to the side, so be very careful with this box. I could already see myself kind of like going to set it down somewhere, this gets snagged and he's gone. So yeah, watch out for that. And we've got an upside down Star Wars logo, same on the front, same on the top as the bottom. So now let's actually unbox him. I am very excited to get Commander Cody out here. I love his kind of like yellowish, orangish colors and yeah, so excited. So let's start, of course, taking the top off. There we go. Oh, almost took the little slip cover with it. And speaking of which, it's a very nice slip cover. You see in the back, there's a helmetless Commander Cody and then him in his phase 2 right there. And I will give you guys a little tease. So you see that airborne troop right there? Hot Toys, they made him. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of that. And recently I actually got a waitlist opportunity for him. The first time I was debating it, I was like, okay, this might not sell out too fast. And then it did. And I was like, man. So I put myself on the waitlist. It actually converted maybe like 3 days ago at the time of filming this. So yeah, he's coming home as well. Then down here, you know, Star Wars, Clone Commander Cody, all that stuff. But yeah, do kind of like this slip cover. Wish it was on the front of the box, but we all know they don't do that. Now we can already see the figure in there. Let's go ahead and pull this out. Make sure there's nothing underneath. Oh yeah, this is looking good already. Let's take this off. Pop that. Pop that. All right, should have grabbed over there for some leverage, but oh well. Yes, this is what's holding his hands. Everyone's favorite wrist pegs. And yeah, I'm excited to look at those holograms. Looks like definitely get Palpatine, so gonna be perfect for some Order 66 action, cause some chaos in your display, you know, just him telling every clone in your display to do Order 66. Oh yeah, so excited. I love the clones like so much more than like stormtroopers and stuff. Yeah, just their armor design and everything looks so good, because stormtroopers, they're nice, especially that Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. Always going to bring him up because he is a grail in my collection. But these clone troopers always have like such unique designs. That's why Hot Toys announced so many of them. And I'm like, I want every single one. But I can't because, you know, it costs a lot of money and I have to get some core characters first. But hey, I consider Commander Cody a core character. So let's just get him out here, take a quick look. Those of you who saw my short from last week or Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, you know, I was teasing you guys a little bit, telling you it's a core character. And yes, he is a core character. Oh yeah, he looks great in my opinion. So right off the bat, he looks very good. I love the orange color and yeah, this Commander Cody is awesome. I do notice though, right off the bat, the belt is a little loose, you know. He's lost some weight, I can tell. That's, yeah, when you lose some weight, I guess your belt loosens up, so good job. He's slimming down, but probably not great on the figure. We'll see how that works out. But that's everything for the unboxing. So I'm going to go ahead and lay all this stuff out. See the rifle or yeah, blaster's already kind of fallen. So So let me just lay this all out for you and we'll take a look at all these accessories. Now let's look at these accessories. I do need to tell you all something real quick though. While I was taking the plastic off and looking at Commander Cody again, there's some critical flaws. We'll get into it more in the figure overview section, like right after this, but I just need to tell you guys up front, there's some flaws with this figure, and he's going to be putting me in a tough spot when it comes to recommending him or not. But yeah, we'll talk about it so you can see if their flaws are going to kind of annoy you or even, ruin the whole figure for you. But we'll get into that later. Up first, let's just talk about the boring accessories. We got some extra wrist pegs. Yes, nicer included. Still haven't broken any wrists, so my streak hasn't been broken, so let's see if this is going to be the figure to do it. Then he has a crotch grabber. This is a bit of a older style one, I want to say. It's like, it's probably just a reuse from their original one. Honestly, this figure probably is more of a 1.5 instead of a 2.0, but yeah, we'll talk about that. So interesting little crotch grabber, just black, nothing crazy. So his base, it looks good. You can see all this sand texture. To me though, it's nice it doesn't have the footprints, but honestly, am I crazy, or does the sand look kind of low resolution to you guys? I don't know. I was looking at it close up and it's like, I don't know. It just looks a little off. Maybe that's how it should be. You probably call me crazy in the comments, but yeah, just something seems a little off about it. I don't know what it is, but it just looks off. But let's just go ahead and get the crotch grabber in here for you guys. See how I can do it on camera today. Hopefully this isn't one that I finally break. Well, not finally isn't a good way, just finally as in, I broke one. And yeah, goes in pretty nicely. And then on the front, it says Star Wars Clone Commander Cody. Very nice. Now let's actually look at his essentials. So his essentials are his jetpack and these two little antenna pieces. This jetpack looks very nice. It's interesting. I think, is this what Sabine uses as well? Kind of looks like it from Rebels, but yeah. This jetpack, matches his outfit. It has that nice kind of like bronzish color and a bunch of little like detail on it. It's all painted on detail. You can't really feel it, but I believe it just holds on with some magnet. So let's grab him. This just goes on the back, magnetizes just like so. You can adjust it side to side a little bit, whatever you need, but yeah, no blast effect or anything. And I hate this belt. Ugh. Yeah, we'll talk about that, but yeah, no blast effect to make it look like he's jetpacking off. So he's just going to have it sitting on his back, but yeah, it's accurate. So we'll take it. Then he comes with two more essential pieces, his antennas. This is his shoulder pad one, matches that orangish color and just, goes on his shoulder. This is his head antenna. They did some nice little weathering on it. It's pretty dirty. I don't know. He's been scraping his head on the floor or something like that, but yeah, just goes on his helmet. So this first antenna just goes right here. So let's go ahead and plop this one on there. See if I can like hold my arms outstretched. Oh, his head decided to tilt on me. So let me hold it a little. Get that in there, and yeah, just like a little friction peg. So now it's in place, looks accurate. So yeah, there you go. And his shoulder, you can see that slot right there. Yeah, this shoulder pad specifically, we'll talk about it. Let me show that on camera. There's some issues with it, but I wonder if you can already see them. And there we go. I don't think I did that on camera at all, but yeah, it's fine. You probably already see the flaw I was talking about, but we'll get into it. Kind of frustrating. So up next, I want to take a look at his Phase 1 bucket. This looks very good. I might be rocking him with this one, to be honest, although Rex is in his Phase 2 in my collection, so we'll see if it makes sense. But I do really love how his Phase 1 helmet looks. So he has his antenna, that nice orange color. It's all very nicely detailed. Pretty dirty. Probably scraping his helmet on the floor again. The visor, if you want it to, can come off, and then he looks kind of funny. I always love this little like kind of sun design right there on his chin as well. Yeah, his fin up top, and yeah, all this dirt makes it look very good. But I actually want to show you guys something real quick. Those of you that have been watching my channel for a while for the collection tours and stuff know I'm pretty big into these little like Lego sets. Kind of hard to hold both on camera, but you see I have the Lego Phase 1 Commander Cody helmet. You can see Hot Toys are always a little inaccurate when it comes to the like mouth kind of visor line things. To me, they always seem like they go way too long and they're not really thin. It doesn't look too accurate, but hey, got the Lego version, got the Hot Toys version, looks very nice together. Then I had to snatch this from Obi-Wan, and yeah, they're like the same exact helmet. This one's more weathered and Commander Cody-ish. Then this is the helmet that Obi-Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars comes with. So yeah, they're basically identical. Just, Commander Cody and Obi-Wan, or I personally don't really want to ever display my Obi-Wan with a helmet, but cool cool you get it. So yeah, just had to do that little comparison real quick. So now let's look at his head sculpt. His head sculpt looks very accurate to me. So you can see his scarring up here, you know, looks just like Commander Cody. The unfortunate part though that makes this a 1.5 instead of a 2.0 for me is the eyeballs. You can't roll them or anything. I don't know how many people are going to be displaying him without the helmet, but it would have been a nice inclusion. But you know, I had to bust out Captain Rex's unhelmeted head sculpt, and they look similar, you know, they're almost clones of each other. Or, yeah, I know they're clones. So yeah, they look very similar. You can tell the ears kind of look a little different maybe. Yeah. This one's a bit older, technically, if this one's newer. I don't know how much they reworked of it, but yeah, they both look pretty good. Different hairstyles, you know, you got that Eminem look going on. And then he's just got like the classic, I guess, how the actor looked from the movie, Jango Fett look going on. And speaking of which, had to bust out my Jango Fett head sculpt. So Jango Fett head sculpt looks a little smoother. Like, yeah, it's a little smoother and they both look similar, but the head looks a little wider on this one. The hair is a bit different as well. Yeah, I know my Jango has some hair issues, like the paint was coming off or something. Kind of sucks, but oh well. Yeah, pretty interesting. You can obviously tell which is which because how they look in the movie. But yeah, it's another nice little comparison for you. Up next, let's actually look at his hands. I know usually I do them earlier, but yeah, want to get into that helmet and stuff first. He comes with 7 total. There's 5 here, then 2 on the figure. And yes, I know his jetpack fell off and actually, you know, hit all the holograms. Oh well. So what you get is a left and right trigger hand, then a left and right kind of pointing hand. This one's pointing with 1 finger. This one's pointing with 2, was kind of the thumb hooked up a little bit. Then you get a thumbs up hand. So that's very interesting. You see all the detail in there. Like the armor plate has a bunch of like scratches on it. And yeah, this looks good. I really like this. It's not a crazy amount of texture on the actual hands. You know, they're just gloves. So yeah, I'll take it though. As long as this armor piece looks good, then it's good to me. And just to mention real quick, on the figure, you get kind of like a resting, relaxed style hand for the left one, and then a like open palm hand for slapping or something like that for the right one. Now, this one's not really a swap out hand per se, but you get this kind of swap out hologram piece that actually lights this hologram up. If I ever go for an Order 66 display, I'll probably be using this because there's no other like hologram projector piece. You have to use this, but there's a flaw with it. We'll talk about in the figure overview section, but let's actually just take a look at it. One thing I don't like about this is that wrist. It looks odd. Like they just like glued the hand to a wrist peg and you can't rotate or move it, but it just looks kind of thin. And yeah, I don't really like how that looks. Then, you know, it's the forearm armor. So it's basically detailed the same way it is right now. And it has like a little keyed little port right there. And to get this to light up, it comes with some batteries. The unfortunate thing about batteries is for some reason, I don't know if they have to or if they can put the sticker somewhere else, but they slap this like warning sticker right on the front of the box. So I had to like carefully peel it off the box. And this is like a little bit of a rant, but yeah, like lose some residue and then have to like kind of scrape it or kind of get all the residue off the box. And then yeah, the front of the box sometimes just has like little marks on it from the sticker. And yeah, I wish they could put that sticker on the back, but if they can't, like for whatever reason, then I get it, but just want to point that out because it kind of stinks having to put the sticker on the front. So to actually get the batteries in here, you have to like pop off this little side piece. It shows, I guess you get your nail in there and then this little side piece pops off. Okay, it took me a second to do. I had to get a closer look at it, but yeah, pops off decently well. You can see it's a little keyed, so you want to pull from the top and then it like pops the bottom off. So yeah, just be careful with it and you should be good. Now you can see I need to unscrew that, put the batteries in, and then we can turn it on. So I got the batteries installed and now I can just flip the switch and there we go. Got the light going. So yep, blinding you right now. We'll take a closer look at that with the holograms in a second, but first, you know, gotta actually look at these holograms. You get 4 total. These holograms are always keyed the same way. So if you have others you actually want to put on him, like so they glow or something, then you can do that. Basically any hologram that I know of at least is compatible. So first you get the Airborne Trooper. He looks pretty good. You can see translucent, nice and blue. Okay, now he's too translucent. I like this one. I'm very excited to get that figure in. So yeah. Next we'll look at Obi-Wan. This is Obi-Wan in his robes. So I believe that we've gotten him a few times, so definitely just like a reuse or something, but hey, we get Obi-Wan, of course. Then we've got Yoda, also nice and transparent. I don't know, did Commander Cody talk to Yoda on a hologram? I cannot remember the scene. Let me know if he did, because I'm very curious now. Then we've got Palpatine. the Order 66 executor himself. Yeah, all these holograms look very good. You have like the scan lines in them and they're translucent. I love how they do their holograms for Hot Toys. You can see it's Palpatine, sort of. Can you even see that? Sort of got his face. You know, the hood's too iconic. You know, we'll just say the hood is what makes him Palpatine. Now what I want to do is actually test out how these look with the light. So let me go ahead, get them lights down low. Yeah, that's pretty bright looking. So this one's not the best example because it shines up through him rather than like through the actual plastic. So still looks good though. You can see the base is lit. I just wish the top half was. So definitely not the best one here, but let's try another. We've got Obi-Wan lit up looking nice. He actually looks a little too bright. Let me see if I can adjust this. Yeah, that made no difference. So I'm gonna just put that back how it was. Yeah, he is very bright. So I don't know what to do. It works. I guess I'd rather them be kind of too bright than under bright. So hey, we'll take it. Now we've got Yoda. In person, he looks like the best one because he looks very lit and you can tell. Oh, this is kind of hilarious. Yoda is just, he's a big ball of light. Now we've got Palpatine. And for me, this is the one that counts. And he looks amazing. In person, yeah, this looks like a hologram. He's, of course, overly bright. But actually, he looks like the best one even on camera. The method to connect it to CODY isn't too great. We'll look at that here in a sec. But hologram and light-wise, yeah, they nailed that. Look at that. Sorry, real quick, I just had to show you. I just noticed you can be like, huh? Because the way his, huh? Yeah, it's kind of funny, but yeah, just had to throw that in there real quick. So basically to get his forearm off, it just very loosely, already alluding to that, pops off like that. Then you just grab his light up one and it just pegs in. All right, finally. I gotta be honest, trying to get this piece in there was actually a bit of a pain. Had to like work it like in. The other one comes out so easily. This one is actually very secure. We'll talk about it. It's a bit frustrating to be honest. And still, that belt. I hate this belt. But hey, on the bright side, now he can be holding the hologram. Got his like little Order 66 going on. I mean, he hasn't received a phone call yet, but he's expecting it. And there he goes. So yeah, hide your Jedi. Up next now, we're going to be looking at his blasters. Let's start with his dual pistols. For me, he's not going to be rocking these because it's always been more of a like Captain Rex thing to me. But like all the other pistols that come with clones, they're very nicely detailed. Got like some speckling in there. They're just kind of gray, so bit basic, but yeah, pretty much like these. They look pretty good. Then I've always been a fan of this blaster. This is like classic Stormtrooper to me. I do love how Hot Toys lets you move this, but one thing, you can't actually use it as like a shoulder guard. You can't get it through the actual handle. One way they could fix this in the future is like, you see how it's a bit wider up here and they get thinner. They make it wider down below. You probably could pop it over. I'm not going to force it or anything, but that's definitely an option if they ever want to make it functional in the future. But without it, still looks very good. Pretty nice and detailed like the pistols, but yeah. Then this blaster, I absolutely love. Yeah, I'm having trouble remembering the name. Is this one also, I believe they're also like DC 15 versions. It's just a longer one, so probably a different number or something. Let me know in the comments. This most likely is going to be the one I display CODY with because it looks awesome. It's very large, and if I can get him in a good looking pose, then I'm gonna rock this one. The weathering, once again, very nice, kind of a bit basic, just a black, like dark grayish weapon and then some like chipping on it. Yeah, a bit different than the others though. The barrel on this one's kind of like a bronzish color and then a little bit of a blue for the actual barrel. So, looks pretty good. And now that does it for the accessories. Kind of a mess now that we've looked at all of them, but hey, let's just look at the figure now. Right off the bat, this guy has some flaws. Let me first get out of the way my annoyances with some. You see this shoulder up here? They're a bit uneven and this one like sticks out way too much. There's foam padding under here, so yeah, it's like kind of not levitating, but it's kind of off his shoulder like that. And this one looks nice. This one, maybe it's just my version, but yeah, if I want it lower, then it has like a big gap there. If I want it higher, yeah, this one, maybe it's just mine, but that's a bit annoying to me. Then this belt, I hate this belt. Look at this. You can like rotate it almost all around him. Like why? For the other ones, I believe they were at least like a bit thinner because you can see how like loose it is in the back. yeah, this one, it's way too loose for me. It's fine once you have him pose and stuff. It's not going to do anything, but I kind of hate it. And then this comes out so easily, but when you put the actual like one that I don't think a lot of people are going to use unless you always put them in an Order 66 pose, this friction joint is very loose. So for this hand where you can swap out the hand and do stuff like that, it's like way too loose for me. It just pops off way too easily. Like I mentioned, if you want him to be in an Order 66 pose most of the time, it's going to be fine, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that. So yeah, it's just way too loose for this like standard wrist, but at least the other one's super tight, so we'll give it that. Then I don't know why, but his joints to me, these feel like super loose. Like, okay, the legs are a little stiffer, but still compared to other Hot Toys I've reviewed, he feels very loose. Like, look at this, like especially here because of that like special peg. Here it's a bit better, you can hear the ratchets probably, but yeah, he's not the greatest. That is so unfortunate to me because I really want to love this figure. I need a Commander Cody, and yeah, it's a little unfortunate that he's comes in this state. It's probably a 1.5 rather than a 2.0. And because of that, like any flaws the original had and stuff, he still has them. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but hey, still looks good though. So let's look at that detail. We looked at the other helmet already, and this one is his phase 2 that he has in episode 3. Looks very accurate. Lots of detail all around it. Yeah, and all his armor has some pretty accurate looking like blast effects. See all that, like the black lines going all around it. So yeah, it's just painted on. Not really actually. Yeah, let me put his jetpack back on. So all this kind of like scuffing and dirt looks very nice. Like it's everywhere all on him. It's like I mentioned, painted. You can't actually feel it, but hey, glad it's there. I love how like the painted on design looks, because you know the like clones, they all came in that standard white color. So they like, my assumption is I believe they just painted their armor. So you see that paint's kind of like coming off a little. You see in the edges, it's like cracking, and from battle, you know, it's not going to be flawless. But yeah, I love that design. The belt looks cool, but we're just going to skip over. I hate it. It's way too loose. The leg armor looks very nice. You know, got the orange, has that nice stripe. He's very, very accurate. He looks very nice for like live action, and he's going to look great in a Clone Wars display, which is where I'm going to put him. But man, I just can't. Well, I'll give you my final thoughts when we get to it, but he's flawed. It kind of sucks. Maybe it's just my version, but yeah, there's some flaws. But maybe posing him a bit will save him, so let's just go do that. So real fast in my kind of rant about this figure, I forgot to actually take the different head sculpts on him. So here's the unhelmeted head sculpt on him. Looks pretty good. Gonna be doing that for the first pose. When I do a pose with the phase 1 helmet, I'll do another close-up for you. For the first pose, I went a little simple. Like I just mentioned, I put his helmetless head sculpt on, and yeah, he's holding his phase 2 bucket. I did put his little pistol in his left hand. He's not really a pistol or little tiny blaster pistol style shooter for me, so he's not going to be using that in my display. So I just wanted to do a quick pose here, so he's at least using it once. Posing wise, I did want to mention getting him to hold the helmet was actually a little simple. You just like you see here, have his arm out a bit, then use that kind of more open palm one to kind of have him like holding the helmet next to him. It's pretty fun. I actually like the way they hold the helmet. It's kind of easy. So that's a good plus for me. They can at least hold the helmet pretty easily. And honestly, I didn't really have a big issue with that joint. It did come out like a few times, but right now it's holding, so that's nice. Getting the pistol in his hand was actually a bit difficult. Sometimes I wish they gave us like hands designated for the actual like pistol grip, or you know, the handle size basically, but they give us just one blaster hand for each side that is supposed to be used for all three. The blaster pistol has a larger base like under the handle, so it's a bit difficult to get in. I had to like use my little precision screwdriver to like pry it out a little, then get his hand around it, and yeah, it looks good, but it takes a little bit of work, so just be cautious when using the pistols with them. But I do actually like this pose, to be honest. If I have him helmetless in my display, then yeah, it actually looks very, very good. Yeah, he's bringing it back around now. I knew posing would kind of save this figure for me, so, you know, that's why we do the final thoughts at the very end. Oh, this phase 1 bucket looks nice. For some of the poses, I'm actually going to be bringing in some guest stars, so for this next pose, I'm going to be doing just that. This looks so good. Absolutely love how good Cody, especially in his phase 1 bucket, looks right with General Kenobi. Oh, this is awesome. I am so excited to get them together into the display. Yeah, I just slapped that phase 1 bucket on Cody. I have him just like kind of pointing a little with he has like the other blaster in his hand, but for the next guest star, I'm going to be giving him the other one. But man, this looks so good. I can't stop staring. Yeah, I love posing my figures together like this. So yeah, this is awesome. Yes, this pose of Commander Cody and Captain Rex fighting back to back is incredible, but it was not easy to do. So I gave Cody the larger rifle, and you know how that, I hate this. So that little like forearm, you know how it pops out for the actual hologram? It kept coming out. The rifle's a bit heavier, so trying to maneuver it or even just have him hold it, it just pops it right out. There's like no friction there for the non-hologram forearm, and it sucks. So this was hard to do. It looks incredible though. I absolutely love this. Having them, yeah, they're both wearing their phase 2 buckets, of course, and yeah, they look amazing together. I'm a huge fan of this pose, and it's worth it just having the boys together. I know I mentioned it was difficult with Cody, but man, yeah, this figure, yeah, for me, he's essential for Star Wars collectors. If you enjoy the prequels or Clone Wars, he's one of the main clones, in my opinion. You have to have, of course, an Anakin and an Obi-Wan, and you have to get them the leaders of, you know, their groups. You have the leader of the 501st, and you have the leader of the 212th. And yeah, hopefully I got those numbers right, or else I'm getting roasted in the comments. But man, yeah, I have plans for one more pose, and then we'll talk about my final thoughts. Execute Order 66. Yeah, sorry, that's probably a very bad impression, but yes, Commander Cody just got the call, and he's ready to execute Order 66. This, yeah, you all knew this is probably the final pose I had to go for. So, Commander Cody, the exclusive sort of 2.0, although it's more like a 1.5 maybe, because they just threw the bucket in. I, of course, never owned the original. It came out way before my time. I do believe that you need Commander Cody if you're a fan of Star Wars, like the prequels or Clone Wars. I don't know if this is controversial, but at this point, the prequels are my favorite trilogy in the Star Wars trilogies. I absolutely love the prequels, and Episode 3 is my favorite Star Wars movie ever. Commander Cody is in that one, so I was always going to need Cody. I grew up also watching the Clone Wars, and the Clone Wars was incredible. I just enjoy like everything Star Wars, especially since this is a prequel era. I needed Cody. But is this figure worth it for you? That is the question, because if you already have a Cody, I think you're probably good. This one, the joints are a bit loose. That arm is so annoying, the swap out one. I get they did that so it could light up, but was it worth it? I mean, it's cool. I know he's the one that executes Order 66, so this pose is probably, there's going to be people either doing them with this pose or the other pose, like with a different bucket or just action-y, something like that. So in that case, maybe it's worth it, but it's batteries, and since it's batteries, they're going to die, so you're not always going to have the light on. Like, it's cool. I just wish that the standard forearm, the non-light up one, was a bit like more frictiony, so it actually stayed on and didn't fall off every 5 seconds when I was trying to pose them. Then the proportions, like the shoulders were a bit odd. You can kind of see that here when he's spinning around, like the shoulders stick out a bit more. I don't know what's going on there. It looks a bit off. But you get a phase 1, phase 2 bucket, which to me is worth it. If I didn't get the phase 1, I'd be like, I don't know. But I needed a Cody anyway. He's pretty great. The joints are loose. The belt, oh yeah, the belt sucks. I hate that belt. I actually, when I had Rex up here, I moved his belt a little, and his is like solid. Cody's is flimsy as heck. It just flies all around. Not going to be a big deal when he's on display, but you know, had to mention it. So the shoulders are pretty odd looking. The belt is horrendous. Then that swap out forearm, it could use some work if they make a 3.0, quote unquote, because not too many things changed for this Cody. But despite all that, for me, he's worth it. You may, if you already have a Cody, not really need to pick up another, or like a newer version, I should say. If you don't really want a Cody or think he's an essential clone, you don't have to get him, of course. For me, I've always loved having Rex and Cody, especially with Obi-Wan and Anakin. When I was younger, I had like the little smaller, I forget the brand, but you know, the little action figures, like the 12 scale ones that I saw them recently when I was going through like some really old toys, and yeah, they still look pretty good, to be honest. But those were like really old 12 scale, and The cool thing about those, though, you could actually like slide the helmet over the head. It wasn't like swap out head sculpts. The helmet actually went over like the face. So it was actually really cool. They're not going to do that for Hot Toys because they want accuracy and they don't want to make compromises to do that, of course. So I get that. But the 2 clones I did own, other than like some random like scout trooper look, like, you know, those camo scout troopers. Yeah, I had those clones. I had, I believe, just like a regular looking clone. And then I had Rex and Cody. So growing up, Rex and Cody were my favorites. I finally have the 6 scale version of both of them. So yes, for me, it's essential. There's some flaws, but hey, go ahead and get them if you need them. If the flaws are too much for you, don't worry about it. He was exclusive anyway. We might get a non-exclusive version at some point in the future. But for me, I'm going to go ahead and take him off the pedestal now. Get him back in a cool looking pose. Get him next to Rex behind Obi-Wan and mostly complete that shelf. So I'm going to be doing a little short showing off that shelf. Probably you'll see it in another collection tour in the future. So definitely stay tuned to the channel for that when that comes. It's always a great feeling when you finish off a shelf with your essential characters. You can always get some like background ones, get like some more to fill it out. But once you get those essential characters that you needed, oh, it's a great feeling. And that is what Cody's doing for me. So I'm gonna stop rambling now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Let me know your thoughts on Cody down in the comments. Are you getting him? Did you get him? Is he worth it? And I'm going to be doing tons more 6 scale stuff over on my channel. So hit subscribe. I hope to see you all around my channel. So until next time, stay 6 scale.